To win your fantasy football league, sometimes it's going to take chances. Now, if your fantasy football punishment is to sit in the dog crate, buck ass, I don't know. If you're in a big punishment league, these boom or bust players probably ain't for you. But if you're looking to win, get the most upside for the value, these guys can win you your league single-handedly, then that's what we're talking about in today's video. The first name is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is ADP very low on ESPN, ADP 31. Wide receiver 13, looking at his last couple of years, right? In 2024, obviously, Tua Tagovailoa, his brain is mush. Tua screws Tyreek, screws Waddle, wide receiver 33 finish in points per game for Tyreek Hill. Looking at the previous years, 2016 on. So we're going all the way back to 2016. Wide receiver 11, wide receiver 5, wide receiver 2, 10, 2, 6, and then the last 2 years, 3 and 2. His snap percentages have been down since 2021. Around 70%. They actually were back up in 2024 at 82%. He hasn't really missed any games the last 4 years, so injuries haven't been that big of a deal. I'm actually a big fan of Tyreek Hill taking a step forward. His yards per out run was down at 1.9, but this was all because of Tua being hurt. Now, even if Tua gets hurt, you can try convincing yourself, oh, maybe Quinn Ewers is now the backup quarter. Bro, Quinn Ewers is trash. This really is all dependent on Tua staying healthy and Tyreek staying healthy. He's an aging wide receiver. The Dolphins do have a team that potentially can contend in the AFC East, but how it's all about Tua staying healthy, which is why Tyreek Hill is boom or bust. But he's currently getting drafted as the wide receiver 13. And he hasn't been the wide receiver 13 or less ever in his career since 2024. So I'm big on Tyreek bouncing back. Name number 2. This is somebody that I'm scared of. If there's a punishment in your league, I wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole. Best ball? Maybe. Christian McCaffrey is currently ADP of 10 in best ball, and I've seen him rising. I've seen CMC in some of my best ball drafts going as high as pick number 6 overall. He was actually closer to pick 15 to start out the season of best ball. But anyway, McCaffrey obviously has been a league winner. He was RB1 in 2023. 24.4 PPR points per game. 2019, he was 29 PPR points per game. So this guy can average over 20 PPR points per game when healthy very easily. Do we know if he's injured? Do we know if he's not injured? I don't care. Listen, heading into 2024, they were telling us CMC, the injury is nothing to worry about. CMC, fine. He's fine. He's healthy. They lied. They straight up lied. So I don't trust a single word that's coming out of anyone's mouth about CMC. They draft Jordan James. They have Isaac Guerendo. Mason's gone. So they haven't really. It doesn't seem like they're worried, or at least they trust Jordan James and Guerendo. So you would expect McCaffrey to be starting, to be healthy. If he is healthy, he's a league winner. He's currently getting drafted, at ADP of 9, at ADP of 10, the end of round 1. If we knew he was healthy, he would still be probably a top 3 pick in the first round. So you are getting a bit of a discount, but is the discount worth the risk? He's boom or bust. Name 3. And you're not going to like this one. It's Pakka Nakua. Now, Pakka Nakua seems to be a consensus favorite around ADP of 7 this year, which makes him a bit scary, in my opinion. In 2023, the rookie year, insane rookie year, averages 17.6 PPR points per game. In 2024, he misses 6 games, plays 11 games, and his PPR points per game was higher than 2023 at 18.8 points per game. So we've seen that when he's healthy, we've seen Pakka be very, very good. Now, his snap percentage was down in 2024 because of the injury. And then coming back from injury, they were easing him back. It was down to 62%. He wasn't scoring many touchdowns. He averages 1 touchdown about every 3 games. His yards per out run was insane. His yards per out run was at 4.1. He had a 30% team target share. If Stafford is healthy, if Pakka is healthy, he is a league winner. He can be the wide receiver 1, 2, 3 in fantasy. So you are getting good value at pick 7. It's a safe option for sure. He can definitely put up points and win you weeks. However, Devontae Adams comes in. Does that impact his 30% target share? Does that impact his touchdowns? Because he wasn't scoring touchdowns really to begin with. Now that you got big body Adams in there, I think Stafford's going to be going to him for some of the red zone targets. Target share could come down, touchdowns could come down, and mainly, the reason I think he's a bust is because of his health. He did miss a significant amount of time with leg injuries in 2024. If that develops into something that is a long-term concern where he keeps getting injured and can't stay on the field, we could see Pakka Nakua disappoint a lot of people at how high he's going. Number 4 is Xavier Worthy. This is a bit similar to Pakka Nakua. I just think he's a bit overvalued right now. So in ESPN, they have him at ADP of 48. They have him ahead of Cortland Sutton, ahead of Calvin Ridley, ahead of Jerry Jeudy, ahead of Ted McMillan, ahead of Travis Hunter, ahead of Jordan Addison, ahead of Olave. A lot of good names that he's ahead of, right? Now, I understand Xavier Worthy had a very, very good rookie season. And he was kind of thrust into a role that he might not have had pending the injuries to the right wide receiver core, Rashee Rice, etc., etc. So 11 PPR points per game in 2024. Guys, he was wide receiver 45 in PPR points per game. And he averaged, a touchdown every 2 games, almost. So he had pretty solid touchdown numbers. If we see any regression in that, he could be a little bit lower. Now, I do think he takes a step forward. So I'm not saying Xavier Worthy's going to take a step back. Now, Rashee Rice is going to be in there eating into his target share, which his target share was only 17% to begin with. So if Kelsey improves, if Rashee Rice improves, Marquise Brown's back eating in the target share, Xavier Worthy could be the wide receiver 3 on this offense. And we could see another wide receiver 40 season from Xavier Worthy, where he's a really good wide receiver in real life, but he can't be trusted in fantasy. So I like him a little bit more in best ball, where you're going to get the spike weeks thrust into your lineup. But in redraft leagues, this is not my favorite boomer bust type guy. Final boomer bust player is Ashton Jeanty. Why? There's a lot of unknowns. Now, very good running back, one of the best running back prospects of all time. Who else was a great prospect? Marvin Harrison Jr. And Marvin Harrison Jr. was the best wide receiver prospect. He disappointed in his rookie year because the Cardinals' offense wasn't good. Ashton Jeanty, is now on the Raiders. The Raiders' offense, Jacoby Myers is the wide receiver 1. They draft Jack Bash. You got Bowers, which is exciting. You got Geno Smith, which is serviceable. I wouldn't necessarily say it's exciting. So how good is this Raiders team going to be? Kind of dictates whether or not Ashton Jeanty, if Ashton Jeanty, if he gets if he's banged up at all, I doubt they're going to rush him back through injury. So while I do like Ashton Jeanty, I think it's kind of wild for this rookie running back to be ADP 10 and going ahead of Devon Achane, ahead of Jonathan Taylor. Honestly, I probably would be taking him ahead of Jonathan Taylor just because I do like the boom potential there. I just want to kind of temper expectations that we don't know what we're getting with Jeanty in the NFL on the Raiders this season, which makes him boomer bust in my eyes. That's 5 guys, boomer bust. Let me know what you think down below. Who else would you clarify in this category? Smash like and subscribe. One of boys. Peace.